Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host speaking, and today we are diving deep into one of the most important matchup of the week 14. The Dallas Cowboys versus Detroit Lions, and trust me, the injury report for both teams is nothing short of the shocking. Absolutely, the Thursday night showdown could shape the playoff picture in a big way. And when you look closely at who is in, who is out, and who is barely hanging on, the story of this game becomes crystal clear. We are less than 48 hours away kickoff. These Cowboys are chasing their fourth straight win. The Lions are trying to stay alive in NFC race. And let's be honest, December football is all about health, momentum, and depth. Right now, one team has it, and the other team is fighting for it. The Cowboys have looked sharp over the last 3 weeks. The offense is balanced, the defense is explosive, and the coaching staff has finally found its rhythm. And the good news for the Dallas fans, the team is getting healthy and at right time well mostly. Let us start with the biggest headline. Trevon Diggs will not play this week. Yeah, that's 21 days practice window opened, but the Cowboys are being very cautious. They want him at 100% before the playoff stretch. Left tackle Tyler Guyton is also ruled out with an ankle injury. This is tough loss for the offensive line, but the Dallas has handled that position by committee before, so the team still feels confident. Now let's talk and let's shift over to Detroit and things getting rough. Very rough. The Lions injury report looks like a glossary list. It is long, it is heavy, and it is full of bad news. Sam Laporta is already on injury reserve. Block writer, his backup is out with neck injury. That leaves Detroit extremely thin at the position they depend on for blocking and passing. Their playbooks just got smaller. Blown starters. Amon-Ra Brown is questionable with the ankle injury. He did not practice all week. Game time decision, and trust me, if does not play, Detroit loses its main offensive spark. Ralph Raymond is out also, another reliable wide receiver gone. Detroit is losing weapons faster than they can replace them. This is where things get scary for the Detroit. 4 starting offensive linemen are questionable. Against the Cowboys defensive line that has been on fire, that is disaster waiting to happen. When your offensive line is banged up, nothing works. Not the run game, not the pass game. And not against the defensive like Dallas. Micah Parsons and company are going to feast if Detroit is not healthy. On the Cowboys side, Jadon Clowney is questionable with hamstring issue, limited practice on the Wednesday. Another game time decision, but even without him, Dallas still has plenty of pass rush option. Players like George Pickens, Covante Turpin, Osa Odingzua all cleared. That gives Dallas full offensive firepower. The Lions have a problem on defense too. Safety Kirby Joseph is out, Brian Blanche is questionable, and the Dallas receiver are healthy and ready. That is mismatch. Dallas out risked to have Trevon Diggs, Tyler Guyton, short risked but important names. Detroit out risked Caliph Raymond, block writer, Shane Zailastra, and Joseph. This is a lot of loss in 1 week. Dallas Connery and Mark Hooker, and Amon Wright Brown, Panel Swell, Tyler Bock, Brian Blanche, and more for the Detroit. This is also big loss. Detroit may need shorter passes, quick throws, and maybe more screens because they cannot let the quarterback sit in the pocket for long. Dallas can blitz, use stunts, overload rushing lines, force Detroit into mistakes, turnovers, and panic throws. Cowboys defensive line versus Lion offensive line. This right here will decide the game. For Dallas, George Pickens and Dak Prescott and Osa Odighizuwa will be also the key for winning this game. For the Detroit, Gibbs and James Williams also, they are there as key factors for the win. Dallas head coach has been more aggressive recently. Dan Campbell must now adjust with half roster injured. Cowboys have a momentum, Lions have a pressure, and momentum wins game in December. The Cowboys enter this game healthy, stronger, and more stable. The Lions enter this game uncertainty, injured, and limited, and that could be the difference on Thursday night. Thanks you for turning today into Deep Injury Breakdown. Make sure to follow the show for the game analysis, updates, and game preview. Until next time, stay locked in, stay formed the offensive tackle position. And every year seems to bring a new uncertainty. First, there was the final year of the Tyron Smith, when no one could predict if he would be healthy enough to play. After his retirement, the focus shifted to the development of the Tyler Guyton, the talented but still learning first-round pick. At the same time, Trance has been on long road trying to return to his old form. Together, these issues have created the continuing cloud over the tackle spot. The 2025 season has followed the same pattern. Even without Smith, the Cowboys still find themselves discussing the availability and performances of the tackles nearly every week. Guyton has shown progress, yet he remains inconsistent. Unfortunately, still has not looked like the dominant player he once was. Many Cowboys fans have questioned whether he will ever fully return to that level. However, in the middle of these doubts, an unexpected blind spot has appeared. The rise of the second-year offensive lineman Nate Thomas. Thomas, a seventh-round pick out of the Louisiana, arrived with very little national attention. During his rookie season 2024, he essentially red-sheeted, spending time developing behind of the scene without playing meaningful snaps. But everything changed during 2025 training camp. He showed maturity, strength, and confidence far beyond expectations. Coaches quickly realized that he could be the ideal swing tackle for the season. At the 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighing 331 pounds, he has the size needed to survive against powerful defensive linemen. Even if he does not have a long arms that many elite tackles possess, as the season went in, the injuries affected the line. Thomas stepped on the whenever needed. He played 199-minute offensive snaps and even started 2 games at both tackle spots. His reliability has not gone unnoticed. Many analysts now believe he may be more than just temporary fix. Some even suggest that Thomas could compete for the starting job in near future. On the left side, Tyler Guyton's position appears safe. As the first-round pick from the 2024 draft, he has shown enough progress to convince the Cowboys that he remains part of their long-term plan. He has taken clear step forward in his second year, especially as a run blocker where his strength and technique have been improving each week. The situation is quite different from the Terence Steele. His contract carries a massive cap hit of the $18,150,000 in the both 2025 and 2026. With that kind of the salary, the expectations are extremely high. However, Steele has not performed at a level that matches his price. According to the current grading, the ranks 37th out of the 80 offensive tackles. While this is not terrible, it is not the level that Cowboys hoped for from someone earning that much money. Therefore, if there is any starting job available for Thomas to pursue, it is likely the right tackle position currently held by Steele. Still, it is important to stay realistic. Nate Thomas remains a developing player. He is not a perfect solution, nor is ready to dominate at this point in his career. Even though Guyton and Steele have struggled at the times in the passing protection, Guyton grading in the bottom 10 among the 80 tackles, and Steele is bottom 25. Thomas has shown even more difficult in this area. He has allowed 11 pressures, even with the additional help through ships and double team blocks. He has given up only one sack, which seems positive, but that does not mean he is fully prepared for the full-time starting role. Thomas is a late-round pick with limited experience, and he is playing like someone who is still adjusting to the speed and complexity of the National Football League. He is a project player with potential, not a granted answer. What matters for the Cowboys is he is continuing learning, improving his footwork, and strengthening his pass protection skills. Fortunately for the Dallas, offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer and quarterback Dak Prescott knows how to manage weaknesses along the offensive line. Through smart play design, quick decision making, and awareness side of the pocket, they have found ways to reduce the impact of the issues at the tackle position. Even so, the Cowboys are currently at their best when both Guyton and Steele are healthy and available. The emergencies of the Thomas does not immediately solve all of the offensive line problems, but it does offer hope for a 7th round pick to step in and compete with highly paid veteran shows how valuable late round development can be. Thomas embodies the idea that talent can be found anywhere in draft if team is patient and committed to coaching. As the Cowboys continue pushing through the remainder of the 2025 season, all eyes will be on how the tackle rotation evolves. Will Thomas take more snaps? Will Steele rebound and justify his large contract? Will Guyton continue moving in the right direction? This question will reshape the future of the Cowboys' offensive line and influence the team's long-term strategy. What is clear is that Thomas has earned respect, both inside of the locker room and across the fan base. His story is a reminder that no matter where a player is drafted, hard work and opportunity can open doors. The Cowboys must now decide how to use his potential in the best possible way. As the story began to change. Instead of the off-field concerns that had flawed him early in his career, the Cowboys discovered a young athlete who was mature, focused, and determined to show the world what he was capable for achieving. During team practice, he became one of the most attentive and hardworking players on the field. In the locker room, he immediately breathed trust with the veteran teammates. Day by day, Pickens proved that he was not only ready for the larger role, but he was ready to thrive as a new environment, and also in a new environment. Most importantly, Pickens developed remarkable chemistry with the quarterback Dak Prescott. Their connection grew quickly, transforming the Cowboys' offense into one of the most explosive units in the league. With CeeDee Lamb on one side, Pickens on the other side, defense suddenly found themselves overwhelmed, confused, and unable to double-team both stars receivers at once. This new partnership pushed Prescott into the National Football League most valuable player conversation and positioned Pickens for the most important negotiation of his young career. When the trade first became official, many analysts described the Dallas decision as aggressive but uncertain. Pickens' talent was undeniable. He possessed exceptional hands, a right body control, and rare ability to turn a routine play into highlight moments. However, the question surrounding his maturity had followed him from the college into the pros. Critics said he needed discipline. Others wondered if he could handle the pressure of representing American team. The franchise, with one of the largest and the most passionate fan base in all professional sports. But George Pickens answered those doubters quickly. Shortly after arriving at the Cowboys facility, he began working closely with the coaching staff to understand their expectations, the team culture, and the playbook. He approached every training session with seriousness and intensity. Coach noted that he never complained during drills, never questioned instructions, and never allowed distractions to interfere with his goals. His attitude became contagious, inspiring teammates around him. On the field, the results spoke for themselves. Pickens constantly delivered the clutch plays, spectacular catches, and game-changing moments that elevated the Cowboys' offense to the new heights. Week after week, his highlights really grew longer. Defensive coordinators across the league began adjusting their game plans, especially to account for his presence. Yet, even with extra attention from the defenders, Pickens continued to thrive, providing he had matured into a reliable and dominant wide receiver. This transformation sparked an entirely new conversation. How much would it cost the Cowboys to keep him? As Pickens' performances intensified and Cowboys' offense soared, speculations about his contract future became one of the most discussed topics in Dallas sports media. Fans debated whether the team should offer him a long-term extension, or apply the franchise tag. Others wondered whether the salary cap challenges would force Dallas to let him test free agents. All of these questions reached in a turning point when Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones appeared on the radio, one of the most influential sports radio in the Texas. During the broadcast, Jones was asked directly about Pickens' contract situation and what the organization intended to do. His answer was simple, powerful, and clear. Jones explained that anyone watching Pickens playing already knew what he and team owner Jerry Jones wanted. Their goal was not to delay, not to negotiate out of the caution, and not to search for the alternatives. Their goal was to sign George Pickens to a long-term contract and keep him in Dallas for the years to come. He praised Pickens for his maturity, his dedication, and his ability to elevate the Cowboys' offense from the moment when he arrived in the Dallas Cowboys. Jones admitted that there was still work to do. Contract negotiation in the National Football League are never quick or easy. They require careful attention to the financial structure, salary cap management, and long-term planning. But Jones made it clear that the team believed Pickens and he had become one of the most valuable pieces of the roster. Keeping him was no longer simply an option. It was a priority. For the Cowboys fans, this announcement was exactly what they hoped to hear. With Pickens firmly integrated into the Cowboys system, the team's offensive identity shifted in a dramatic fashion. Instead of relying heavily on one main target, Dallas gained the second elite playmaker capable of stretching the field, winning contested catches, and punishing defenses that dared to leave him in single coverage. In the game after game, Pickens delivered crucial plays that helped the Dallas maintain its winning streak. His ability to leap over defenders, maintain balance after the contact, the track deep passes contribute to some of the most memorable moments of the season. The highlights of him hurdling Kansas City Chiefs cornerback Trent McDuffie became a viral image that represented in athleticism and confidence. CeeDee Lamb, now partnered with another dominant receiver, found more space and freedom in passing attack. Defenses that focused all their attention on Lamb quickly realized they were leaving Pickens with favorable matchups. Defenses that doubled Pickens discovered Lamb tearing them apart in the slot or in the perimeter. This dynamic combination forced the opponent to play the Cowboys more continuously, often dropping additional defensive backs into coverage, which opened a new opportunity for the running game. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott thrived with more weapons at his disposal and less pressure to carry the offense alone. He delivered the most efficient season of his career. Analysts across the league pointed out that Dak Prescott rise into the most valuable player conversation was not only due to his own improvement but also because Pickens had expanded the Cowboys' offensive toolkit. The chemistry among Prescott, Lamb, and Pickens created one of the most dangerous offense trio in the football. As the season progressed, sports analysts began projecting with the Pickens' next contract might look like. Many predict that he would earn one of the highest salary among the wide receivers, potentially ranking within the top 10 in the league. His age, production, and steady improvement all support the idea that he is deserved for a long-term commitment with guaranteed money. Some experts suggest that Pickens could command a deal worth well over $100 million, especially given the rising market for elite wide receiver. Others believe the Cowboys might explore using the franchise tag as temporary solution if the negotiation extended deeper into off-season. However, all signs pointed towards the same conclusion. Pickens' value was too significant for the Cowboys to take risk losing him. For the Cowboys fans, the contract discussion was not only about the money, it was about hope. It was about breeding a championship-level offense that could compete with the best team in the National Football League, NFL. With the Pickens, Lamb, and Prescott forming a stable core, Dallas would not need to overhaul its offensive identity each season. Instead of the front office could focus on strengthening the defense, filling the roster gaps, and preparing the deeper playoff. As the Cowboys entered in the late stages of the season,